Okay, fine. So we don't need to bother about the internet connectivity and all. So, but we may think about what is Gmail, how I am getting this Gmail access. When I am trying to just go to my for example, I'm trying to just connect to my Gmail account. If I say Gmail, it is prompting username and password, this email. So from where I am getting this page? This question generally we may get compulsory. We should get if we think more. Like for example, if we are at a Gmail standard only, just we'll simply get into that and use it and leave it. But if we are more than that, then our thinking should start. So why I am getting this page? From where we are getting this? So without internet, we can't get this page. From internet, we are getting. But from where we are getting this page? Thus, that question should be there in our mind. Anybody got the question like this? Or already you got the clear information on this? Responses, please. Are you guys with me? Hello. No. Yes. Maybe. Okay. I take it as yes only. But anyway, I'll continue. If you respond, I can understand that you are in some like sync with me. So if we search for server, if we search for server, at least confirm me in or the ping, at least, or the chart, at least confirm me the questions what I'm asking. So I have taken a term computer. After that, I have taken a term called server. Anyone heard about it? Server? Am I audible,
Store
guys?
the data server.
Yeah, Manzur.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a server is it stored the data.
Yeah, fine, fine. So, sorry. So, when we search for server, so I'll show you images. Have you ever seen this kind of thing? I don't think so. Some like few of us may have seen this. Like, okay, this is also a computer which has more capacity than the this personal computer. This is used at distributed environment. Okay, like whatever the service is installed here, that is able to be distributed over the network. Okay, what is network? Those things will cover later. But so basically we have to understand. Let's assume already we just discussed about Gmail, right? Let's consider Gmail is a service. That service is installed in this computer. This computer is placed somewhere in remote location. That is also, let's assume this is in Mumbai. So in Mumbai, Gmail service is configured in this server. Okay, so and connected with internet. When we just type gmail.com, that will take us to this computer because the configuration has been done like that. Okay, so from here our credentials, everything are stored here. Because when we create our Gmail account, every details are going to be stored at this computer itself. This is called server. Okay, this server will distribute these services uh, over the internet, like that network, which network this computer got connected. Throughout the network, it will distribute that service. So that is the reason we are getting this page. Where is the Gmail? Yeah. When I just simply type Gmail, I simply like I have taken that as an example. When that Gmail server, we are not sure where it is. Just I am saying if that is there in Mumbai, it should go to Mumbai and it will connect to that server and get this page from that server itself. If I enter my mail ID, it will again ask for the password. It will authenticate, and again it will take us to our that email portal. Like, so we'll go and check our inbox, everything. That is the thing. So this is called like client server, we used to say. What does it mean by client here? Our personal computer is the client. The computer which serves the service is called server. That's it. So this is very important. That's the reason I have started this thing. Anybody have any questions? If you don't respond, what can I understand? Are you following me, or do I need to go back or go forward? ఈవెన్ తెలుగులో అయినా మాట్లాడొచ్చు, నో ప్రాబ్లం. Okay, can I go ahead?
Yes, Srinivas.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine then. So before just getting into actual subject, so why are we learning this? So if we complete this course, where we will be, that thing also let's try to understand. This is completely infrastructure means generally, usually that is a term. Infra means our home furniture or our house or building things are also infrastructure. Here we are talking about IT infra means the foundation where, for example, software developer is there. That software development activity, if we want to just initiate and establish that, where do we do that? For example, a restaurant is there. I'm just planning to set up a restaurant. If I want to plan a restaurant, what do I just do for that? Which one do I need to search for? So I'll simply search for the building and premises and that building where the restaurant is feasible. That one, like I'll simply go and search for the building. I will build that building in like interior. I'll prepare according to like the requirement, restaurant requirement, where the kitchen should be, where the dining should be, right? That is the general infrastructure for restaurant. For example, if we talk about IT infra, a software development is there. If I want to develop a software, what kind of servers needs to be there? Just now we have discussed about it. So what kind of servers means what type of services we are going to like plan for. So what are the services means? For example, Java is a technology which is used for development, right? So that technology needs to like have its own server. That server is called Java server. Okay, Java application server, we can say. So that is needs to be planned well. So after the planning and all, we'll go for the infrastructure development, IT infra development. So we'll go and pick the server and install that respective software and configure, and we'll go ahead. Okay, so where do we do this? There are two comparisons we can see. One is like let me take this. I'll one is like, I think you should One is on premises, second one is cloud. Cloud means, like, okay, on premises means this is our premises. Our premises means, for example, our office is there, which has 200 seating capacity. Okay, in that building itself there is a separate room called server room is there. Okay, server room, or in big environment we used to call it as data center. Okay, it looks like this. I'll show that as well. If I say data center, it should look like this. This is the data center. So what is this? If you closely observe this, all these are like, this is a one set. Can you say this? This is one set. This is called server rack. Okay, all are server racks. Within the server racks we can see the computers. This is the computer, this is one computer, this is one computer. These are all server computers actually. These are computer which are said to be servers. Okay, these all kind of servers, these many servers, what do we like, why do we require that, we'll see in our forward sessions. Upcoming sessions we'll simply just get to know. And these servers, like, behind this we can't see the network connectivity, everything is there. This server, I mean, this room has its required temperature and required AC, everything is there. If we have this setup in our premises, this is on premises data center, we can say. Okay, so this is one term, that is this on prem. Okay, and if we talk about cloud, cloud means in our office we don't see anything apart from our network infrastructure, that's it. Networking for just already we have seen this thing, right? In the second point we can see this server has to be accessed over the internet by using web-based tool for personal business use. So this is the mandatory thing for accessing cloud computers from our premises, right? That is actually, we don't need to bother about how the cloud infra is. Just we have to bother how are we getting the services from the cloud provider, what kind of services do we require to fulfill our requirement. Okay, that is only we have to bother about. So these terms we should compulsory aware, and we should be very clear on these two terms, because usually compulsory we will be using these words in our real-time scenarios, because our customers are going to be there who has infra in the both environments. Their own data centers will be there, and they'll use cloud infra as well. In that situation where on premises I mean, how many on premises servers are there, how many cloud servers are there, these kind of things we are going to just hear about it. Okay, and any questions here within this? I'll be very happy, like, getting the questions, answering them. Okay, fine, then I'll move forward. So why are we talking about infrastructure here? Because when are we talking about AWS cloud solutions means, so here this is the course for AWS solution architect, right? So solution architect will give the infrastructure solutions only. That is the reason we are starting the fundamentals of infra. Okay, so we have covered computer and servers and on-prem and cloud. Why are we talking about that thing also? So after the completion of this course, we may see the positions like cloud engineer, AWS cloud engineer, AWS cloud solution architect. Okay, and AWS cloud operations engineer. Like these kind of different job titles may be there according to like the company depends. That is not a mandatory title should be there for this, but the mandatory thing, all the titles can have the topics which we are going to cover here. So you don't need to bother about the content which you have, but you have to bother about what are we discussing here in the session. So my like sincere request for you to start like practice every day, and practice and practice, that is only give you the strength. Okay, so very competitive thing you can experience in the future. And if you like complete the course, you can be very confident, but when you face interview with the real time questions, you will very like be uh, in confusion mode if you don't practice here. Okay, practice more, and like follow the documentation, then you will get an idea. Okay, so directly we'll get into this. We'll wind up our session today in 15 minutes, and we'll day by day we'll try to increase the time to 1.5 hour. Okay, so if we, at least now if you have any doubts, I'll be very happy so that I can continue. This is actual topic we are getting into now. No? Yes,
Sir,
maybe. Yeah.
hello.
Yes, yes.
Sir, so for the practice, you'll be providing for us anything.
I'll give you
So
complete.
how to we practice, sir? Do we have any for a particular
I'll I'll
software
I'll
for
I'll give
this,
you.
or
I'll walk you through everything. You can practice from there itself. I said you right. Cloud. We are in cloud. Cloud means you need to have sufficient bandwidth at your end, wherever you are. You
and
can
you
practice
hold?
from there. Yeah. Okay.
Mm, no.
Okay then. Fine.
Yeah.
So this is a thing already we discussed. I think let's revise once again. Cloud computing is when you use a computer or server. That is only the thing actually. Computer server. So which is provided to you by someone else. That means what? For example, here we are talking about AWS cloud infrastructure. AWS people will provide this computer, like this server that is owned by AWS, will simply access that computer. How do we access? I'll show you tomorrow. Okay, and this need compulsory bandwidth, internet connectivity should be there to access that cloud. So how this is established, that thing, for example, computer is owned by us. Okay, one computer, if I want to use that, I can just sit in front of that computer, I can use it. Okay, for example, if I want to use this AWS computer, do they provide a special computer for us individually? So how do they, so they'll simply do that. I'll quickly show how they will give computer for us. There is a portal called AWS console. If I get into AWS, okay, so the AWS management console look like this after getting into this. So these are all the services. I'll just show you clearly later. We have to talk about EC2 service now. So instance means in AWS terminology, this is the computer actually. In AWS terminology, instance means a computer. Okay. If I want to just have a computer, I can launch from here and use the computer. Just try to think about it. If I launch a computer, they'll give a separate computer for me like this in their environment? Do you think so? For example, this is a computer, right? Do they just allocate this kind of computer or this kind of server for me alone? Response, please. Getting my question? Let's assume this is a server. Okay, this is a computer, whatever it is. It is around 60,000 is there. Will AWS people allocate a separate computer for me in their data center and give the access? What do you think?
No.
No. So what might be there? A response is required. If you don't know, just know, that's it. Okay, I'll go ahead. So for this, what they'll do, they'll simply get a server like this, whatever thing like this server only they'll get with high end configuration server, and they'll split this server into multiple servers. How that is possible? That is possible by the solution called virtualization. Okay, what is a virtualization? Virtualization is the creation of a virtual version of something such as operating system, server, storage device, or network resources. Okay, that means what? Okay, I forgot to take this term as well. Operating system. Everyone should be aware of this, I hope. Operating system means what? For example, server is there that we can see physically, right? This we can say physically. If you open this, we can see the components which are existing in this cabinet, right? So in this cabinet we can see motherboard and CPU, RAM, hard disk, all those components should be there. Okay, so all these things we can see, right? So for the functionality of this computer, if this physical computer should be functioning, then it needs a software called operating system. Operating system, we usually know Windows 10 or Windows 11, Windows 7. These kind of operating systems we should have heard about them, right? So apart from these things, like we have Linux also, Linux, Unix flavor, Sun Solaris, so many things are there, right? So in the operating systems, we can basically classify them into two things. Like we classified the computer into two, right? Client computer and server computer. Okay. In the same way, client operating system and server operating system is going to be there. That we'll see in our upcoming sessions. So operating system and server, storage, device, and network resources. Network also we'll discuss in detail in networking sessions. So storage device means we can compulsory like see hard disk on all. Everybody should know this hard disk, right? That hard disk is our storage device. Okay, so virtualization means what it does. Virtualization is a solution to split that hardware devices or hardware components into multiple. Okay, for example, well-known thing is hard disk. Hard disk, I have 1000 TB. Let's assume, or 100 GB. Let's assume I want to split that 100 GB into 20 GB. What do we do? I'll simply show my computer itself. This is actually my computer, right? One, two, three, four, five. Five. What are these? Five drives are there. We can see five drives are there. But how many hard disk I have? Only one hard disk I have. Okay. In physical hard disk, I have only one, but within that physical hard disk, I have 5 drives. These are virtual drives actually. Virtual drives means I have converted that hard disk into 5 virtual drives. Okay, these are logical volumes. Usually we can see logical means we can't see them like with our eyes, or physically we can't see where my install e drive is there, where cloud my f drive is there. I can't see physically. If I open this cabinet, I can't see nothing. I cannot see. If I open my laptop, I can't see anything regarding. I can't find any information related to these drives. Okay, I have just splitted that hard disk into these many. In the same way, I can split this computer into multiple according to my requirement, and depends on the capacity of the server, right? So that is the virtualization. So we are not virtualization consultant. We don't need to bother about how we are installing, and from the scratch we don't need to get into this. Just we have to understand virtualization is the concept to split the physical devices into like virtual devices. That's it. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can simply unmute and just ask the question. No problem, I can continue. Let's close in 10 minutes. So let's come to cloud computing. Okay, so what it is: virtualized compute environment over internet or intranet is cloud, right? Intranet I'll say later. Let's assume internet only. So virtualized compute environment over internet means we have discussed so far, right? Virtualized compute environment means the computer which is there at remote premises, that is from cloud provider end. Okay, so that we are using the virtual components only from there, and virtualization plus internet only will give that cloud computing. So there are so many things are there in cloud computing. We can't just limit to any particular thing, limit to any a single computer or any single service. That is so many things are there in cloud. So how that is possible? That is possible for cloud providers via virtualization. Okay, that is possible for users via internet. That's it. The user end, we need to have a proper internet. Okay, that AWS or cloud provider end, they need to have a proper virtualization along with a sufficient dedicated bandwidth for them to have high availability. Okay, this is what our cloud computing. If we start practicing, we can get a clear picture on this. And after completion of this course, you can get into so many kind of automation activities also, that we can discuss later. So we can have a few more minutes or 2 to 3 minutes for the questions if you have. Otherwise we are good to end up the class for today.
Srinivas, this course is
Hello,
for solution
sir.
architect exam or the other ones?
Sorry, Kirti, can you
Hello.
This
repeat the question?
training is for solution architect, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Solution architect, we are going to just cover for uh, this infra, and especially infra, and manageable thing at database end. Because we are not database administrator or developer, we don't need to get into that infra level of database environment and network and security. These kind of things we are going to cover.
Yeah, yeah. I got the course material. I mean, like, what are the
Yeah.
topics you're just to get a
Yes.
confirmation? Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Any questions, or are we good to close today? Okay, then. Thanks, team. Thanks for joining. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
If you have,
Sir, hello, sir.
yes,
Sir, what companies do we expect from AWS, sir? Like, which companies will come, sir?
Hi, sir.
which company?
Companies,
Wait,
sir, like, what companies will hire AWS, sir? Like,
every company actually. So many.
okay,
AWS is the topmost cloud provider in the world actually. So many
okay, sir.
customers are there for this AWS. So yeah, for AWS, so many companies are there.
Okay, sir.